President Obama says he's confident Iraqi forces will defeat ISIS terrorists in the battle for Mosul. But there is much more to the equation than just winning and losing on the battlefield. Correspondent Kevin Corke explains tonight from the White House.
As the dusty and dangerous march on Mosul continues in the Iraqi desert, half a world away, President Obama today used a sun-splashed Rose Garden press conference with Italian Prime Minister Matteo Renzi to express his confidence that the fight to reclaim Iraq's second-largest city would be won, but hard-fought.
It is Iraqis who are doing the fighting, and they are performing effectively and bravely and taking on significant casualties. There will be ups and downs in this process, but my expectation is that ultimately it will be successful.
What the president didn't do, however, was define what success in Mosul would ultimately look like. Not just a victory in the fighting, but afterward, when the shooting stops. Experts say the so-called Obama Doctrine, the belief that aiding other countries militarily rather than leading the fight, faces perhaps its greatest test yet in Mosul.
And this will be, I think, a key milestone in what I committed to doing when ISIL first emerged, which was we were going to roll them back, and we are going to ultimately drive them out of population centers, and we will destroy them.
Mosul's the heart and soul of the Islamic State's caliphate.
John Hanna believes the Mosul campaign will help define Mr. Obama's legacy as a wartime leader who sought to take the U.S. off the front lines of the counterterrorism war.
This is a high-risk strategy by the president. He's tried it in Iraq, he's tried it in Libya, he's tried it in Syria. What we've been left with is chaos and disaster.
Indeed, the Obama Doctrine has already failed once in training Iraqi troops. After $25 billion in aid and nearly a decade of training, the Iraqis tucked tail and ran from advancing ISIS militants back in 2014. A sobering reminder of the difference between the theory and the practice of war.
If he now tries it again in Iraq and leaves, I fear we'll only be back in the Middle East again at higher risk and higher cost to the American people.
A shifting White House policy shrouded in the fog of war, with consequences that soon will be clear for all to see. No doubt about that. By the way, Brett, about 200 to 300 Americans who are taking part in the fight for Mosul are what they call these Special Operations Commandos, and they'll be operating really just a few miles behind the front lines. And to give you a bit of perspective about that, we've seen Americans do this before, both in Somalia and in Syria, with decidedly mixed results. Brett?
Kevin, we should point out the state dinner for the Italian leader right behind you.
Yes, sir.
Just starting there at the White House. Kevin Corke on the North Lawn. Thank you.